So, the mouse cases. Now, before I even got my hands on these, I already saw a lot of people complaining about that camera cutout. And you know, I don't really care about that. I just want to post my own opinion and let you decide for yourself. So let's start off with the Clarity 3.0. And yes, you've heard that right, it's 3.0 now instead of 2.0 from the previous year. Now, the most obvious differences are that now the sides are exactly the same as with the Limitless cases. So if you've seen those before, you know exactly what's going on here too. No longer the plastic sides. They also got rid of that unique camera bump where it was only in the corners and slowly disappeared towards the backplate. Probably for the better as far as protection goes. But it did look very cool. Now, there's no sharp edges anywhere, very clicky buttons, and of course that huge cutout at the side where the camera control cutout is. But hold on, let's pause for a second. How bad is it really? Firstly, no rough edges, nothing sharp or uncomfortable. It features sloped edges, so it's easy to use, and the case doesn't feature huge corners next to it, so you can absolutely use this perfectly fine. Last but not least, is the nearest corner weaker? Yes, but it did survive half of my slap test like it did just now. So the corner is weaker, but not by much. Not as if it's a silicone case, for example. I doubt whether or not this will be an issue. I'm really leaning towards you can ignore this as far as the safety goes. So then only the aesthetics remain. And honestly, I think it looks cool. It's different, but it fits the design of the case in my opinion. Now I have good hopes that MOUS will make a button variant later on and keep it for the 17 series, but that's all speculation of course. I think that would be even better. But would this cutout bother me as to not buy it? No, not at all. No, I'd still buy this. Then, how is MagSafe this year? Last year, I mentioned it was in the more than average category. And unfortunately, we'll keep it at that. Not bad at all, but definitely not great either. Like a 6 out of 10. Now, I noticed they changed the way the camera bump is set into the case as well, as you can see the shapes beneath it now. That's probably to click into each other to increase durability. And that's great. Now the fit is just excellent, really like a 10 out of 10. And the front edge is also more than enough. Now they even make cases without MagSafe. Not sure why you want to go for that, but hey, at least they have it. I did drop test this case a few months ago, but that was with the plastic sides, which did get ugly after a few drops. So I am very curious to see whether or not the Limitless holds up better than that with the texture side that is also on this case now, instead of that glossy plastic. All in all, really great case. Then the Limitless 6.0 comes in a lot of colors, so let's go over those real quick. You can choose between bamboo, walnut, speckled fabric, forest green, black leather, Aramid Fiber, silver pearl, and even stone. They all have that soft felt inner with that cool MagSafe design in there, and they all have that huge cutout too, like on the Clarity, which is still as comfortable to use, but better as far as the strength of it goes, because it's not slapped off at all here. You can feel that too when you try to bend this case. It's a lot stronger than the Clarity too. Very clicky buttons here too, which is always great. Excellent front protection, and it swells up at the top here for extra protection. Now in the past I've complained about a little rough edges with these, and even though they are a lot less sharp-ish, you can still feel them on certain colorways. Doesn't get annoying over time luckily, but it just feels as if the edges need to get sanded down a little better. That's most apparent on the bamboo, the Aramid, but also the black leather versions. Now if you don't want that, it's the speckled fabric once again, which happens to be my favorite year after year. So for me, that's good news. But honestly, I would love to rock the walnut color too. That one just looks awesome as well. Good subtle camera bump, good cutouts at the bottom, and still love that texture on the sides, which is just nice and adds that little bit of extra grip. Fit on all of these is excellent, and I would really trust my iPhone with one of these cases. They just need that extra 2% attention to detail and it would be perfect. Now, that stone color did have potential as a good match to the desert titanium, but as you can see, it's a different tint. So even though it's not bad, it's not a great match as far as the color goes. I'll throw that stone, forest green and navy color in the same category, and that is the just off colorways. The colors are fine, but just not it. They miss that uniqueness. They need to tailor these colors towards the actual iPhone colors in my opinion, because right now they're pretty random. The other ones all have that unique factor which makes it worth buying. Like that walnut, which matches really well. Now you should definitely stay tuned for my drop test, which will drop in about a month I guess, where I will drop one of these. I will drop a pinned comment down below and you can cast a vote on which color Limitless 6.0 that will be. So just give a thumbs up on the color you would like to see in that video and I'll make it happen. Lastly, they also have the super thin 2.0. Fit is very good here too, amazing. Very unique looking case as well, and probably a favorite for the minimalist case lovers out there. Top cutouts for both the power button and the camera control, and it does look good I must say. On the other side, a very unique cutout as well for the volume and action button, and they all have that rounding towards the actual button. A little bit sloped so that it does feel comfortable. I noticed that on the camera control button, that makes it a little bit harder to press though, as with most top pill cutouts, which is not a huge surprise since most top pill cutouts just have that. Functionality is fine though, it's just that pressing that makes it a little bit harder. Very subtle front protection, almost as if it's one of those Aramid Fiber cases like Banks or Pitaka, but it does replicate that naked iPhone feel pretty well. Now they also have those 4 fit cutouts, which don't look very good in my opinion. It does feature that felt inner here too, with that same awesome MagSafe design. And unsurprisingly, MagSafe is much better at a 7 out of 10. Comes in 4 colors, black, stone, forest green and navy blue. It's exactly the same colors as with the Limitless though, so yeah, the odd colors list I talked about. Now lastly, I cannot help but notice that the bottom cutouts are just off. The speakers are not in the middle here at all. Actually looks quite a bit off. Now this case would be amazing with just a few unique colorways for it. There's nothing wrong with the case at all, but it just feels bland. Hopefully they'll release the Aramid Fiber version too. Now if you like this video format, make sure you watch this one too, or maybe this one, and I'll hope to see you there.